following the official release of the schedule on Thursday night. My first thought, and this is something I discussed on Locked On Patriots, Greg, is even though Drake Maye finished as the runner-up to the MVP last year, I actually think he's going to have more impact on this season's schedule in this season's matchups. And he's even more important this year than he was last year. Because when you look at this schedule, man, the Patriots have 6 games against quarterbacks that I would deem top 10. Maybe you agree or disagree with them, but I've got Trevor Lawrence in there, Josh Allen, Jordan Love, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes. I think all of those guys have an argument to be in the top 10. And then you look at guys that are just outside the top 10, especially considering their weapons. Caleb Williams with Ben Johnson in what Chicago has on offense. Then you've got Jared Goff with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jamison Williams and Sam Laporta and Jahmyr Gibbs. And you also look at Denver with Jalen Waddle added. Now, Bo Nix, I wouldn't say he's a top 10 quarterback. Some might think he's closer than I do. Minnesota's interesting with Kevin O'Connell, but I first look at it and say, you need offense this year. You're going to need a quarterback that might have to, go blow for blow with one of these teams, if not multiple teams. And then you look at, Greg, the Patriots have 7 games against defenses that were in the top 10 last year in yards per game. And I look at yards per game because points per game is a little funky with special teams and turnovers and all that stuff. Seattle was 6th. Bills were actually 7th. The Chargers were 5th. The Vikings were 3rd. The Chiefs were 10th. The Broncos were 2nd. And then you have 2 games against teams who were just outside the top 10. The Jaguars 11th and Packers 12th. So when I look at this schedule, am I crazy to say that the Patriots, they need Drake Maye to have more impact this year than he had last year?
No, you're 100% correct. I mean, let's just put it this way. This is a big boy schedule, all right? Drake Maye had a great year last year. Certainly had good moments against, good teams like the Bills and others. But it was sort of like a junior QB schedule. This is a big boy schedule. Like when we're talking about, the Tom Brady's of the world, the Patrick Mahomes, the, primetime games, quarterback versus quarterback matchups. Like, let's be honest, there weren't that many last year. There weren't. Yeah. I mean, Drake Maye, I don't know what, 75% of the time, he was easily the best quarterback on the field. So this is going to be altogether different. And they're going to need Drake Maye to play at the level that he did last year if they're going to make the playoffs, if they're going to do anything. And rightly or wrongly, we can look at the playoffs and be like, well, what are we expecting of Drake Maye? Considering, that schedule in the postseason was really rough. I mean, 4 games against those kinds of defenses and not the greatest quarterback matchups. I mean, we're not going to extrapolate that over 17 games, but yeah. And I will tell you, Nick, from talking to people around the team, there is I don't even know if it's that quiet, but they basically have the opinion, and they're telling people this, which is, look out for the quarterback this year. Like, you thought he was good last year. Wait till you see it now. And now, look, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell physically. Like, I look at the pictures and I was like, oh, Drake looks a little bit thicker, but that's not it. From what I understand, it's the mentality. It's how much he knows the offense even more. It's how he has the tools that are in this offense. And so, along the lines of what you're talking about, that's a great indicator of what's to come. But of course, he's going to have to do it on the field.
Yeah, and you just kind of look at Maye, and I believe I said this on the pod, the Lockdown pod. You just look at if you had an average quarterback, right? Like if you had a Brock Purdy, right, if you had a Kyler Murray, and you were going into this type of schedule. This is why having a quarterback like Drake Maye, if he can continue what he started last year, if he's a perennial top 5 or 6 guy in the league, that's why the quarterback is the most important position in all of sports. Because when you run up against a schedule like this, you need your guy to be really freaking good. And, if you got an average quarterback and you're going against this type of schedule, yikes.
Regular season is wrapped and the NBA playoffs are finally here, and there's no better way to cash in on the high-flying hoops action than on PrizePicks, a preferred partner of the NBA. Every bucket, every dime, and every win means more when you're playing on PrizePicks. So don't pass up your next shot with PrizePicks and get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Pick live squares during the NBA playoffs, and you could win a trip for two during the NBA Finals. To enter, just make a $5 lineup with at least one live NBA player pick during any part of the 2026 NBA playoffs. Live player picks are picks made after a game already in progress. Nick, how about that game one last night in the West, huh?
Man, what a game. What a double overtime, absolutely ridiculous basketball game.
I know. I mean, I'm even watching. Like, of course, I have a rooting interest in Dylan Harper, who was freaking awesome last night, and again showing maturity beyond his years. But I don't know. I just enjoy watching these two teams play. I enjoyed watching the Spurs and the Timberwolves. So I made my picks mostly off of that series. I know the East is starting. We'll see how much I get into that. But I got Wemby, who's an alien, who was ridiculous the other night, more than 24.5 points. That's happening. I got SGA more than 28.5 points. I think he's going to bounce back after last game. He's going to show everybody. Dylan Harper more than 11.5 points. That's in the bank. And then I went over to the Red Sox. I got Ranger Suarez more than 4 Ks tonight against KC. I got Wilson Contreras more than a half total base again tonight in Tampa Bay. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, a preferred partner of the NBA. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are like me with a family, multiple credit cards, multiple people with accounts on their stupid smartphones, like all over the place. Everybody's buying subscriptions and apps and things like that. Well, it was totally out of control in my household. So I downloaded Rocket Money, put our accounts in there, and I've already been saving about $100 a month since I did this. I mean, we're playing for Hulu twice. You got Game Changer accounts. You got different, like, multiple newspaper accounts at the same place, like reading, high school scores and things like that. Rocket Money can track subscriptions and has the ability to cancel unwanted ones within the app with a few taps, saving users over 880 million in canceled subscriptions. You can set budgets and goals, get personalized insights and regular reports, and receive real-time alerts for large transactions, upcoming bills, refunds, and low balances. Users who create a financial goal with Rocket Money save over $70 on average within the first 30 days. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spendings, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Join at rocketmoney.com/Bedard. That's rocketmoney.com/Bedard. rocketmoney.com/Bedard.